Hey y'all, Fat Man Outdoors. Hey, if you liked the video, click that like button and click subscribe so that you'll get notifications whenever we post new content. Appreciate you watching. This is the Fat Man. I'm gone. Hey y'all, Fat Man Outdoors. This morning I want to go over something with you that I've had a few people ask me about. That in today's time, there's just so much turmoil going on all over the world. You got, even in this country, there's people fighting amongst each other, and you just don't know what's going to happen really from one day to the next with the political stuff that's going on and all the unrest. A few people have asked me my thoughts on a go bag. Now here's my thinking on a go bag. Okay, it needs to lean toward two things heavier than everything else. That if you're going to make a go bag, number one, it needs to be first aid and trauma. Most of the time, if something's going on and you need to get away from a situation, whether it be away from another person, whether it be away from a group of people, whether it be to get away from a wild animal, or to get yourself out of a car wreck, any kind of accident or incident that could cause physical harm to your body, you need equipment that will get you out of that, and you can get yourself treated with the equipment that you have. That needs to be prioritized. The second thing is force defense. Whether it be, again, a situation versus another person, a group of people, a wild animal, something to that effect, you need to be able to defend yourself. And for that, you need to choose weapons that you can carry that are light, that will do what you need to do, that are relatively very dependable. You want something that you know if you're going to pull the happy stick, that there's going to be a boom. Okay, so what I choose for mine, for those of y'all who don't know this as soon as you see it, this is a Kel-Tec 9mm carbine, sub 2000. This little gun is, and you can see that the bolt's open. It's an unloaded gun. There's nothing in there. The magazine's in there. The magazine is empty. This little gun is very handy. It's like I said, it's in a carbine length, so it shoots fairly accurate. It shoots a 9mm round, so you can get a lot of different types of 9mm ammunition. If you're ever in a situation where you're out of ammo and you're not able to go, and something's happening and you can't get in stores to get ammo, just about anybody you run across that has a firearm will have some 9mm you could probably trade for to help you out if you needed it, if it was a bad situation where everybody was having to do something that they didn't want to have to do. But the little Kel-Tec, it's collapsible, folds up in a very small package, and you can strap this right to your backpack, or you can even put it right in your backpack, and it doesn't take up much weight, it doesn't take up much space. Now, the next thing I want to show you, down here on the bottom of my pack, you won't be able to see all this because I'll be moving the camera all day if we do that, but believe me, there's a pocket down there. There's a zip-up pocket down here, and in that zip-up pocket, I keep 3 33-round magazines for that Kel-Tec. Stays in this backpack all the time. So I'm basically carrying 100 rounds of ammo for that Kel-Tec, that if I need it for a hunting situation, if I need it for a personal defense situation, even if you need to use it for a signaling situation, you know, that universal 3 shots and then stop, will tell a lot of people I need to go check that out. Now you probably noticed when I moved this backpack, I'm going to pan the camera down just a wee bit if I can, that when I moved this backpack you probably saw that there's a lot of different assortment of knives stuck in these storage ribs. Knives are something, 20 pounds of knives is better to pack than no knives, okay? And believe me, each one of these has its own use. There's a utility tool on here, a Leatherman utility tool. You know, can do all kinds of stuff with the utility tool, and the way these little pouches are set up that's on there, you can take them off and put them on your belt if you need that. They're real easy to use. This is a very sharp razor knife with a new razor blade in it and blades in it to replace it if needed. You can use those for a lot of different stuff, to cut materials, Even if you had to, I guess if you had to get in there and get an object out of yourself, you know, somebody could cut into you with that. I guess I'd hate to know that I tried that, but if you got to do it, you got to do it. This is more of a skinning knife, so that if you were to take game that show you were going to be eating, or if you catch fish, you have something to clean them with or prepare that with. Now, a lot of people will laugh about these. Okay, back when I was a kid, you go to any flea market or trade show and you could buy these old Pakistani-made plastic handle survival knives. That's back when Rambo was the big thing, and every kid wanted one. You know, it's cool. They had the compass inside of it and all that stuff. I carry one. It's not a Pakistani made. The one I carry is made in Solingen, Germany. But the reason I got it for is it's another implement that can be used in force protection. Inside this handle, it does have a lot of stuff: sewing kit, waterproof matches. There is some fishing line and fishing hooks, different stuff that I added, not the stuff that came with it, and some indicators for fishing. But the biggest thing for me is you can screw this off. I don't care a bit about I actually popped the little compass that comes in these out and just chucked it because they're not very reliable. But you can take the end of the handle off, and this is an open tube right here. So then you could whittle down a good hickory stick or a hardwood stick and put in that and lash it to it and make a very, very good force defense weapon if you didn't have ammo and you needed to be able to protect yourself in a wild game situation. Okay, now over here is something. This is a little hatchet, and this one is made also in Solingen, Germany. I'm not going to call off manufacturer names because I'm not spoofed to do any of that. But you can, when you buy a hatchet, never buy a hatchet that's a separate head and a handle. Buy a hatchet that is one solid piece. Okay, the reason being, you don't want to put yourself in a situation where you can break the handle out of that hatchet and you're just done. You don't have anything else to use. And most of these hatchets nowadays are going to have a striker on the back of them, so that you can put your hatchet on something if you're needing to chop up firewood or chop up pieces of small trees to build you a shelter out of. You can take another small piece of wood and use it like a hammer and make the hatchet much more effective than just swinging the weight of the hatchet. Now on the bottom of this one, you'll notice there's a ferrule rod. Okay, now this does have a groove right here to use that ferrule rod to scratch off that magnesium, and then you can strike it and you can light that. Very, very handy fire starter. Fire starting is something that's super important. Alright, let's put this back. And all these fit right down in these little straps and will stay there. I mean, you don't even have to worry about them ever falling out. They'll stay right in there. They're just kind of made to sit right there. Now, let's go on and look at some other stuff that we've got in this pack. Okay, now on this back pocket right here, there's another back pocket right here. See how deep that goes? I can go almost to my elbow down in that back pocket. I don't put anything in that. I don't have anything put in that. That is kind of my, if I run across something in a situation that's a survival type situation, and it's something that I think may be a resource I can use later, I don't want to have to get rid of something in my pack to pick up something that I see that could be useful. So I keep that big pocket open all the time, so that I have an open area to put stuff that I might find that I can use. Okay, now let's go on. Okay, now here, I'm going to unzip this side pouch. Bear with me, guys. This is a lot of stuff to go over. I'm trying not to make this video too long. Inside of this, there's two of these, okay? These are emergency bivvies, and what this is a sleeping bag, but it's Mylar. This little small unit is a full size, will fit me, Mylar sleeping blanket. And I promise you, you crawl down in one of these, you ain't getting cold. And you will stay nice and warm, and they are reusable. You can roll them back up and they'll fit right back in this, but there's two of them in this, okay? And you could use these for a lot of different things. You can open them up and not and just flatten them out, not cut them or anything, just flatten them out and use them for a reflective device. And if you've got a lean-to built and you build a fire and you put this up on the other side of that fire, it'll reflect all the heat. You'd be amazed how warm an open lean-to would stay with a Mylar blanket that is reflecting it back to it. This is something nobody should ever consider making a go bag that isn't got this in it. This is 550 paracord. Don't get the black or the brown or the camo because it looks cool. Get something that's bright colored so that if you're using it and you drop it or you lay it down somewhere, you don't lose it, because it can happen. And also that you could use these for markers if you had to, and cut it up in pieces and use it as trail markers to maybe show where somebody might know where you were, and they can see where you're going so they can follow your trail. Very important that paracord, man, has got so many different uses, thousands of different uses you can make out of paracord. All right, now we're going to go with pocket on the other side. Okay, now on this pocket on the other side, I have something to start fire with. This is just one of the implements that we're going to run across in this bag. As you know, we already had a ferrule rod, but I've got a strike lighter, and these are the ones that you buy like you're going to fire a grill with or something. So they're a little bit heavier built and they last quite a bit longer. Water filtration kit. This can save your life for 10 bucks. You can buy these for around $10 at just about any outdoor supply store or Walmart and or hunting supplies and camping supplies. You can go on a lot of different online places like Amazon, eBay, Temu, all kinds of stuff, and find these little water kits. Like I say, they'll last a long time. They will filter a lot of water, and they're only about 10 bucks. And if you don't have one of these, you're doomed. So pick you one of these up. That's a priority. Now, down inside of here, and a lot of people are going to get a good laugh out of this. This is a little Ozark Trail. There's the corkscrew to prove it. Swiss Army knife. Guys, Swiss Army knives have been in production in several different countries all over the world for, oh my goodness, probably well over 100 years. So as you can see, this one has everything from a bottle opener to a pair of scissors to a fairly sharp knife, the can opener, corkscrews, leather aws. You can do all kinds of stuff with the stuff that's in these little knives. They weigh next to nothing, and a lot of times the tools you find in these, you can't do what you need to do with anything else. You know, so don't laugh about the Swiss Army knife. Throw you one in there. Like I said, you can get them. You can get them at Walmart like $2.99. You know, at Christmas time you can buy them for next to nothing. When they put stuff out for in their outdoor area for Christmas time, you can pick them up for just about nothing. All right, so let's move on. Next pouch that we're going to have here is on top of the bag, and in this bag, 2 wash rags. Just the 2 that I picked up. It didn't have any orange ones, and that was 2 black ones. They were new, and that's why I picked up the 2 black ones, because that way I knew I wouldn't get anything in there that had a possibility of having moisture in it. Now, moving on, have a good hat. Now this is a really good hat. It is a Swiss Tech hat. It has the rollout camel neck on the back of it. It also has built-in mosquito net. That's something that is very cheap. You can get them like 14 bucks at Walmart. That's where that one come from. That's a good thing. 1 little compass, 2 little compass, and these are accurate little compasses. A whistle. A lot of times that'll get you out of a jam. Now here's something interesting. I think you guys are going to find this interesting when I show you the rest of my stuff that comes with it. This is a little light. Now this light does not require batteries. Okay, this light is rechargeable by USB. And you're thinking, okay, yeah, but you're in the forest, you're trying to hide out from everybody else. Where are you going to get a place to plug in your flashlight? I'll show you in a minute. Get all this put back in there. And you'll see a lot in my go bag. You're going to see a lot of redundancy. You're going to see a lot of the same thing over and over and over, because to be honest, when it comes down to trying to stay alive or trying to survive a bad situation, redundancy is a good thing, because you just might need more than one of the objects that you've got, or you might need to be able to trade. You know, because anybody that knows anything much about survival knows that if you've got something that somebody else doesn't have and you're both trying to survive in the same place, that thing you have is worth a lot. It may be worth it to the point that you need to defend it, or also it may be worth it to the point that you can trade it for something they have. Like if you run out of 9mm ammo and you need to get some ammo and they've got some. Okay, now back to the flashlight. This is how you'll recharge your flashlight. Okay, this is also a light on both ends. It has two different lights. There's a yellow light and a white light. It has a camp light. And this thing is really a neat little light system. But the cool thing about it is right here. Okay, that is a solar panel that will charge this light. And then on the side of this light, there is a place where you can plug in that flashlight and charge that little handheld flashlight. So not only do you have the ability to charge this light so that you always have a light, you can just hang it on the back of your backpack when you're walking if you're out sunny, if it's sunny where you're walking, and it'll charge it while you're going, and then that way you've always got a power source. Okay, I'll set that right there. Now, here is something that I recently added to my bag. Okay, this is pretty cool. I don't know if we want to spend the time to go all the way down into this, but I am gonna unzip it and show you a little bit of it, because I don't want to keep y'all for an hour. This is probably going to be a long video. Inside of here, there is basically a survival kit on wheels. Everything down this is a little Monty tool, and it's a good one. It's pretty heavy. It's got a good edge on it, and it does have a spike on the back of it. It all folds up. It's all in this little bag. Comes with like a utility tool. It's got a small hatchet, and that thing is sharp on it. Real sharp. And a good little hammer on this side. And then, like I said, it's like fencing pliers, wire cutting pliers. And down here there is a whole plethora of blades that open up out of this thing that are made out of pretty good steel. This little thing's made out of Sologen. I picked this up at a store in down around Nashville, that they had these on sale for 13 bucks. And nothing's plastic. Everything in them's metal. Even you get a spork that has a knife on the end of it. Man, let me tell you, you could fillet fish with this little knife. That thing is sharp. And it's got a cool little plastic cover that goes over it that keeps them getting cut. But this is interesting right here. It also has a whistle on the end of this thing. So it's another thing where somebody, when they were engineering this, they made really good stuff out of it. I call this my little sharps bag, because it's got all kinds of stuff inside of it. You can see that folds back. In here I keep another couple of little flashlights, and I got a battery in here that's one of the ones that are guaranteed for 10 years. There is a real good cable saw in here. There's another ferrule rod set. It's in this. This, like I say, it's got a little bit of USB light that takes one AAA battery or AA battery, and it's already in there. We got striker and another ferrule rod. Now here is something, this little thing right here. You can make this at home if you don't have any, and I may do a video on how to make it, because it's real easy. If you've got grass or hemp rope, cut it up in little sections like this, okay? Melt some paraffin wax, or you can even do this with Vaseline, or you could even do it with like axle grease or motor oil. Soak these in that, and then put it down in a good Ziploc bag so it won't leak out in your pack. And when you get ready to start a fire, you can cut just a little section of this off, like a ½ inch, and then break it apart and give it more surface area, and it'll just 1 or 2 sparks, and you're good to go, and it'll burn long enough to catch up your tinder pile really well. All right, let's move on. We're rocking and rolling. Now on the other side of this, Down in here is all kinds of first aid stuff. There's another water filtration system, there's sutures, there's gloves, there's all kinds of sizes of bandages, and then in here, Mylar blanket. Okay, there is 2 Mylar blankets in this that is 130 by 210 centimeters. So it's a body covering Mylar blanket. Now all this stuff come together, and like I said, I call this my little sharps bag because it's got a lot of the sharp things that I would be dealing with right together. And on the outside of it, you got those little, I call them little stretch bands. I don't know what, I'm sure there's some kind of name for them, but where you can stick stuff down in there. You can see I got 2 glow sticks in there, and I've got a survival bracelet that has a good compass in it that does work. And whenever you buy something that's got a compass in it, get your your official compass out and double check that compass and make sure it reads right. If it don't, chuck it. Get rid of it so you don't never look at it and try to depend on it, because if you do, you'll be in trouble. This thing has also got, when it breaks apart, it's got a little knife right here. This little knife is sharp as a razor. You could do a lot of stuff with it. Just have to be slow because it was a small little knife. But it also has a little built-in ferrule rod, and this little knife right here will strike that ferrule rod. It's pretty interesting. Pretty handy little outfit. Then over here, of course, always keep a good knife. Make sure when you get a knife, it's not something you got to take both hands to open if it's going to be something you may think you need in a hurry. You want a knife that'll do this. You want it to that will come open on an instant, okay? Because that second or two of you needing to take that knife and get your finger in the right spot and get it open, that could make the difference in life and death. Get you a knife that you got access to, and I'm not talking about trying to hurt somebody. I'm talking about you could be in a situation where you slide down a bluff and you get hung up in a piece of rope or something and you need to get out of it, and being able to get that knife open one-handed and do what you got to do, very important. So like I say, this is my sharps bag. That's what I call this little bag, is my sharps bag. Alright, that's my sharps bag. And I also have a good carabiner on this. Now when I say a good carabiner, I'm talking about one that threads, not one of the little cheap ones you buy to make a keychain out of. So if I have to have something to carry some weight, I've got it. Alright, I'm going to set this down to the side. Okay, now you guys have seen this. If not, I will post a video. I will post a link to the video. This is my trauma bag, what I consider my emergency bag. A lot of stuff in this bag. You wouldn't believe what's in this bag. I won't try to go through it again. I'll post a link to the video. Try to keep this video from being too long. You can look and see what is in this bag, but I'm telling you, there's everything in this bag, from aspirin to antiseptic, from toilet paper to Tootsie Rolls. And I'm not joking, there's everything in the world in this bag that might help you. There's stuff to feed you, there's stuff to protect you, there's stuff to treat serious wounds, there's stuff to treat just generalized medical issues. There's information in it that you can read to show you how to treat things if you're in the woods or you're in a situation where you can't get to somebody else to help you. That will show you stuff that will help you more than anything. It's a really good bag that I made. I think I give like $8 for this bag off Temu, and this thing is like got tons of room, and it does have a backpack strap so you can pack it on your back. I keep it in this backpack so that in the event that I need to go, I grab everything at once, or if there's something happens here at the house, I have my trauma kit. All I gotta do is pop my bag open, get it out, and I'm ready to go with it. But I'll post a link to the video of that one that we already did. Now, down inside the bag. Alright, talking about the bag itself. Buy a wet bag. Okay? Buy a bag that can stand water. You see this gray inside of this? This is a neoprene lining. Okay, as long as you've got this string drawn and the top pulled over this, it could come a monsoon. You could probably cross a river with this and use it as a flotation device, and your stuff won't get wet. Make sure you get a dry bag. If the backpack that you buy, that you're looking at as a survival bag, make sure it says that it's a dry bag. You don't want one that's not, because if it rains and you've got stuff in here that weather will get to, and you take it out sometime and it gets wet and you put it away without taking everything out and 100% drying it, the next time you go to get in it, everything that you've got is going to be ruined, and it may be that one day that you needed it and now all your stuff is destroyed because it molded. Okay, next thing. All right, here's something that everybody's going to probably question. A towel. Okay, this is just a large size bath towel or a beach towel, small beach towel, whatever you want to call it. It's orange. It needs to be a bright color, yellow, orange, bright red, something that would stand out in a situation where somebody was looking for you, that they could see that. The reason you want that is because a whole lot of times if you're walking in the rain and you've got that towel, you can put that towel over your head and around your neck, and you'll catch most of the water that's going to hit your body. And every few minutes you just have to stop, wring the water out of that towel a little bit, and put it right back on, and you've got kind of like a dry lock between you and the rain, because that towel will soak it up until the towel gets over-absorbed before it actually let it start leaching onto you. So you'd be surprised how dry that towel will keep you. But it's a good thing to add. Okay, the next item. Get you an old pair of shoes. Okay, most of us will have on our normal everyday shoes all the time. You know, I wear hiking boots most of the time, except on my left foot. I have that mechanical boot that I have to wear. So in a situation where I was trying to survive, if I was going to have to cross a river or do a lot of walking in an area that was wet, I don't want to get that mechanical boot soaking wet, because that mechanical boot does not breathe well. So if I ever got it soaking wet, then I'd have to stop and let that thing dry all the way out, and that may take a couple of days, the way the inside of it's made. So if you run across a situation that you know you're going to have to cross some muddy area or an area where there's a lot of water, and you need to have dry shoes when you come out of that, take off the shoes you're wearing, your good shoes, put them in your dry bag, put on a cheap pair of tennis shoes, make your crossing. Then when you get out, hang your tennis shoes on the back of your pack to let them dry as you're going, and make sure when you hang them toe up. That way the water runs gravity feed down into the back of the shoe and will come out. But hang them out and let them dry. And then when you get somewhere where you're going to make camp, try to find a place where the sun's shining in, and that'll help you a whole lot about getting that taken care of too, to dry out. Now, here is clothing. All right, camouflage pants, camouflage hoodie. Now, I chose these very carefully, and I don't know that you can get them everywhere like this, but I think I've seen them orange as well. But if you turn these to the inside, see they're white. Okay, you can see it really good on this hoodie. You can see they're white. The outside of them is good camo, so if you needed to conceal yourself from other people, or if you were trying to hunt to try to get meat to survive, you could conceal yourself. If it was wintertime, if there's snow on the ground, then you could turn these inside outers, you could conceal yourself again. But if it's in a forest situation and you're not trying to conceal yourself, you're wanting to be seen because you're somewhere, you're needing somebody to find you because you're not sure where you're at, turn these inside outers. A helicopter could see you a long way, big white blob walking through the woods. Clothes. An extra change of clothes. Okay, now, what we got here is a pair of joggers and a black sweatshirt. Now, this is for if you're going to be in a situation where you're going to need more clothes other than what you have on. And again, if you need to be concealed at night, these will help you be concealed. They're going to keep you warm, and you're going to need to change the clothes. You can't go out in a situation where it's going to be survival, and that the only clothes you have is the clothes you got on your back. Me, like right now, I'm wearing a t-shirt and a pair of shorts. I'm going to be in real trouble if something happens immediately, and I had to try to survive, and the only thing I had to survive off of was what was on my person. I wouldn't want to do that. It'd be well, I mean, if you have to, you have to, but it'd be really hard to do. But guys, that's everything that is in my bag. Like I said, I'll post a link to the video of my trauma bag. It's you watch that video, you're gonna be shocked what all's done in that thing. I'm serious, guys. It's anything and everything that I could think of survival wise, from food gathering, food preparation, water filtration, hygiene, trauma treatment, ailment treatments, everything that I spent probably a week and a half, a couple hours a day, just sitting down with a notepad and, okay, what about this? What do we need to do this with? What can we get to do this that's compact? Okay, and is there a way to get something that'll do this or do this? And like I said, in that bag there's some stuff that most of this, well, I won't say most of it, probably half the stuff in that have more than one use. And it'll have like the little spork that I showed you. There was a spork, a knife, a can opener, a screwdriver, and it had a whistle built on the cover that covers the knife. You know what I mean? It's just little stuff like that. You may be sitting down trying to eat something and somebody goes walking over the ridge and you just happen to see them and you get a chance just immediately, don't got to dig and get a whistle. There's a whistle on the end of my spork and you might just have to blow a little harder to get the chunks out of it if there were anything in your mouth, I guess. But anyway, guys, that's all I wanted to show you. I'm sorry this video was a little bit long, but there was a lot of stuff to go over. Put yourself together a go bag. And when I say a go bag, I mean this is what I consider a bug out bag, okay? This is a bag that I want everything I can get in this bag that I need, because I probably won't be able to come back here. Okay? Now this bag is a trauma bag. Two different things. Trauma bag makes up part of the bug out bag. But the trauma bag is part of my everyday life. Everybody in my house and myself knows where this is. So if somebody gets a major wound or something happens that somebody needs trauma treatment till the EMTs get here, you got what you need in this bag. Okay, that's part of this, but it is not this. Also with the sharps bag, same thing. The sharps bag is a separate thing. If I need something immediate that is going to be sharps wise out of that bag, I know exactly where to go to get it. It's in that bag. Everybody in my family knows what's in that bag, but it's not this bag. It's part of this bag. And if I had it all laid out on the table, everything that's in that bag, everything that's in this bag, everything that's in this bag, you would look at the picture and say there's no way you got all that in that bag. But it's in there, and it's needed. Well, guys, I hope y'all enjoyed this video. We got some other cool videos in the pipe. I hope to see you in the next one. This is the Fat Man. I'm gone.